Welcome to Kung Fu Africa number 2. I deleted this video, but I'm making it up now, and I'm going to tell you why I deleted the video. I said some unbecoming things, and I want to reword them in a better light. Alright? One was about my mom, one was about my dad's mom's mom, and I didn't get to my mom's mom. So I didn't get to my grandmother on my mom's side. I got to part of my grandfather on my mom's side. I got to my grandfather on my father's side and my grandmother and great grandmother on my mother's father's side. Excuse me. All right, so here we go. There was a discussion with me and my aunt Ruth about my great grandmother Ada, and I asked her why my uncle Bruce said that Grandma Ada was mean, and she said she was always mean to us, but I said she was never mean to me. And then Ruth said that's because you look like her, and you were her preferred skin tone. So, hearing that and knowing that my father's father was black, and my father's mother was native or mixed native, and her mother was native, and we were raised black on that side, it's kind of hard to fathom the concept. Now, all but one of my dad's brothers have passed. So my Uncle Robert just passed. My dad passed before him, and my Uncle Bruce passed before him. And we have my Uncle Bryson, who I met at my Uncle Bruce's funeral, but we haven't had time to get to know each other. COVID kind of ruined everything, so I couldn't travel down to Smithville. So that kind of knocked everything out. There's been some other family issues, and so we're not going there. But my dad's side of the family was raised black. All right? Now, here's what I said about my mom. My mom is white as paper. She's whiter than all my white friends' moms. And I've lost her in a crowd of people at least 3 times. Alright, that's the long and short. The first time I lost my mom was in Scottsville at a farmer's market. The second time I lost my mom was in a store called CVS. She was standing between an Asian woman and a white man, and she blended right in with them. And then the third time I lost my mom, pretty much the same situation. I'm like, oh my God. And then my brother's baby mother lost my mom in a crowd of white people. So that should tell you how light my mom is. My mom is white passing or white presenting. But she lets everybody know she's black and she's proud. Alright? I wish she would have used some of that white privilege. But anyway. So my mom's mom is half native or all native. We don't know because she was adopted and she was raised black. My mom's dad was half black and half white. And he looked like a white man with a tan. So up until he died, you couldn't tell that he wasn't white because he just looked a white man with a tan. He he looked lighter than this. He was not yellow. He was off-white. Darker than my mom, but lighter than me. Alright? And, again, we were raised black, and my grandfather lived in the country. So not only were we raised black, we were raised country black. And this man walked for miles to go to a fucking store. I don't understand how that worked, but when people tell you we going to the store in the country and we walking, keep your ass at home. I kid you not. This man walked for fucking miles. And the only reason I can tell you that is because I remember being a kid and him carrying me on his shoulders, and I'm like, we there yet? We there yet? He's like, shut up. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. And he was never really rude, so he didn't say shut up. He's like, just be quiet. I got you. Nothing's going to happen to you. I got you. And he would go to the store, and the banister on the store. And he would set me down on the banister. I didn't go in the store. He didn't do that shit. He did not play take kids in the store because, kids want everything they see. So he'd get his items, pop me back on his shoulders, have the bag, and walk all the way the fuck back home. Now, I don't know why he never drove. I know he had a car or some kind of vehicle. I think he had a tractor or something. Now, this is in Wingina in Nelson County. He had a lot of dogs. I know he had a car. I never seen him drive the goddamn thing because when we walked to the store, we walked to the store. Now, he, on the other hand, he didn't walk us. He carried. Whatever kid went with him at the store got the ride of their life. Because he put him on the shoulders. He walked all the way down a hill, out of a gate, and walked all the way back up a fucking hill to the street and got all the way to wherever the hell the store was at and went there. Now, if he had to go to the big store, it wasn't that big of a walk. Just walk down the hill, take a left, there's a store right there. And he made a living working on a dairy farm. And I miss him. Anyway, so that was the thing. And we were raised country black, so we knew about the country. We had a bunch of dogs. We had Sam, we had Lobo, and we had a whole flock of other little hunting dogs. And eventually, my grandfather passed, and Lobo was killed by a mountain lion, and Sam died of old age. We're not going to go there. You will get no tears from me tonight over a dead dog. Now, my grandmother on my mother's side, my great-grandmother was Sarah. Sarah was not my grandmother's biological mother, which explains the big skin tone difference. Also raised country black. So, now that we got all that out the way, none of them were racist. I just want to get y'all that background story so that you know where I'm coming from. Because this isn't about my family. This is about families of children who have one racist parent or racist seeming parent while they are biracial. Now, this isn't uncommon, and the thing is that, see, for me, I never had to deal with that. But as a mixed child, I had my own issues at school where if you have a biracial child or a mixed child and you have to go to school, my problem was the kids at school. None of my parents, none of my uncles, none of my aunts were ever racist. We had enough problems. But the kids at school were racist. Racist as fuck. You know how many times I was a zebra and a half-breed, and getting picked on from kindergarten to college has not been a fun thing. But you adapt. Now, for the kids who are biracial and have a racist parent, no one knows what goes on behind closed doors at your house but you. And you're not going to come to school and tell everybody because you don't want drama. You don't want to have like CPS and them come to your house. Because I'm going to tell y'all a funny thing. When CPS comes to a mixed child's house, it's a whole different demographic. Alright? And it also depends on which parent is the parent of color. Now, I know you guys don't want to hear this, but I will almost guarantee you that if the parent of color is the father, CPS generally favors the mother. If the parent of color is the mother, CPS still generally favors the mother. Unless the father has an ultimate mega job. You know, like if he's like a mega lawyer, then that's where the other problems come in. But 9 times out of 10, the more racist parent is not the parent of color. Alright? And I hate saying that, but it is the truth. The more racist parent is not the parent of color. Because the parent of color already grew up in the racist society in which we live. So the child can't go to the parent that's not of color because, like they said on TikTok, everybody sees you as black first. I'm going to make another video about that. Just, it's going to have to wait. Now, being seen as black first in this new generation isn't the same as how when I was coming up. Because when I was coming up, it was completely different. I was not seen as black first. I was seen as the half-breed. There was no black first. The black kids called me a zebra. The white kids called me a zebra. They all started calling me a half-breed. By the time we found out I was part native, now I have other issues that they can pick on me with. So, if you are a kid and you have a parent that is racist, I want to give you the only piece of advice that I can give you. Stay strong, and once you get old enough, and only when you get old enough, so not when you turn 18, and if your parent is still alive, when you hit 20, 21, and you're not living in their house so that you have somewhere to go, you know, I would say confront them. Why you say stuff like this? You gave me life. At some point, at some time, you knew that you loved this man or this woman who was of color. Why would you say racial derogative things to your child? And if you are a parent and you are doing that, because I'm in the video right here, if you are a parent and you are doing that, that's a disgusting thing you're doing, and you should be ashamed of yourself. I'm Echo Fang Grey Wolf. This is Kung Fu Havoc number 2. Be seeing you.